I got a Phoenix on this guy. Counting down.
Dirt on the nose, on the nose.
Waiting for that to get the bull. He's a Viper, so he's going to be real dangerous. He's inside 20. That missile's going pit bull now. There's our guy. Got eyes on him. Okay. Hello everybody, this is Shiny, and I'm sitting here in my Tomcat. I'm on the SPQR Modern Dynamic PVP Campaign server. I think I got that name wrong, but something like that. Anyway, this is a new server by the, I think the SPQR Squadron, and it's based on the same code that Enigma's Cold War server uses, and I guess Tempest Blue Flash server also uses. And it's a really cool server. These days, my home base in DCS is the Danger Close server, and we also have some good PvP missions on that server. That some of them that I made myself, some of other good missions that my buddies made. Excuse me. But anyway, this is a pretty new server, and I had some good flights on here and some good fun fights. So what I wanted to show you today, and the Tomcat tip that I wanted to give you, is about setting up your navigation, setting up your waypoints in online in a multiplayer server like this. Okay. Let me take track IR off its paws. So what I mean is, in a mission like this, it's a dynamic campaign. Your plane that you get into is not going to have any waypoints set up. So we need waypoints because look here, the Tomcat's TID. This is our essay page, right? This is my essay page in the Tomcat. So it's not just for looking at radar returns and seeing where the bad guys are, although that's very important, especially with data link. But it's also just general essay about where I am, that I can look on the TID and I can see my waypoint markers or other navigation markers, and I can always orient myself properly, right? I can look at that, know what I'm getting close to, know where I am on the map, so to speak. So let's look at the F10 view. Okay, so here is the map on this server. So you notice, just like Enigma's Cold War server, it has the same setup with red and blue. So my plane has no waypoint set up, but I'm going to fly, I'm going to do a mission, so we need to get that set up. So what am I going to do? So first, I'm going to come and make some marks on the map, all right? Now, the important thing in this server is the front line. So right here where the red and blue meet, right? That's where all the action happens on the server, is the front line. Now, if I was going to do air to ground, then I would be most interested in not just the bases, but also these marks that indicate enemy target areas. But, I don't like to do much air to ground unless I have nothing else to do. I'm planning on doing air to air. So what I need to know is definitely where that front line is. So I'm going to make a mark over here. Right, and I'm just going to call this, what I always do, I call it FLW for Frontline West. That's Frontline West. I'm going to make a mark right here. And since this is an air base right here on the line, I'm just going to shorten that Abu El instead of Abu El to her. So I need to know where that point of the front line is, where that base is. And let's go over here, and over here at the other far end, we're close to, let's see, not exactly on Tapqua, but that's okay. We're close enough. The important thing is that I can see, where the front line is right there in front of Tapqua. And so that gives me 3 points along the front line, right? I have a point over here on the east, a point in the middle, and a point in the west. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, my home base, where I'm flying out of, is Al Qasir. So I don't think that home base is automatically programmed. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. And then probably if I was going to land, I'm going to want to land somewhere closer to the front lines. I don't want to fly all the way back to there. So let's mark Hama also. That's another good place where I might want to land. It's probably one of the best places to land. And we'll do one more. I'll mark Basal too. Okay, so once we have those spots set up with the map markers, let's go back into our cockpit and bring up the Jester menu, right? Hit twice to get to the full menu, and we're going to go navigation. We're going to go to 4, steer point from map. I'm going to set up my first waypoint, waypoint 1, and I'm going to make waypoint 1 Abu al-Dahr. That's the one in the center of the front line.
Roger.
So we're going to choose that, and Jester is going to type that into the system. And while we're watching this, let's zoom the TID out. So I'm going to go to TID range, and we're going to go out to 200 miles. And then also, I'm going to go ahead and I want to make this airplane centered. Oh, wrong one.
Okay.
So we're going to go to ground stabilize, so we are in the center of the picture. And now you can see the front line, waypoint 1. We know that is right on the front line, and that's at Abu al-Dahr. Okay. So same thing, we're going to go back to navigation. We're going to go back to inner steer point from map. And we're going to do waypoint 2. And this time we're going to go to the coast and do frontline west.
Copy.
Okay, and as he enters that, you can see that waypoint 2 pop up there, and you can see where that is. So now we already know our front line, right? We can see point 1 and 2, so you can draw a line there in your mind, and we know where the front line is. Okay, let's get our third one in. So this one's going to be the one at Tapquan.
Roger.
That was over on the eastern side of the front line. Okay, we can see that waypoint 3 show up over there. Again, you can see that straight line across. We know where the front line is. We know if we're flying north past that, we're getting into dangerous territory. Okay, next, let's go ahead and put in Hama, which is going to be a base that we might want to land at. I'm going to use fixed point for this one. Right? Fixed point will work just fine for Hama.
Wilco.
Okay, so we can see our fixed point show up now on the TID, and we can see where that is. Looks like, it's about around 40 miles south of Abu al-Dahr, about from our waypoint 1. And we can see, it's about 30 miles north of where we are at Al Qasir. So we can get our orientation going. Now, let's go ahead and put in Basal too. So for Basal, I'm going to use defense point.
Roger that.
All right, so we can see that round marker with the cross through it, and we know that's our defense point, and that's going to be Basal in this case. So that's another airbase that I can land at if I'm looking to find a nearby airbase. Although that one looks pretty close to the front line, so if things were busy, I might not want to land there. Hama looks a little safer. All right, so now that we have our waypoints all set up, we will be ready to go, ready to fight. Now, at the moment, at the moment I was going to say our server is not busy and there was no other reds on. Hey, but it looks like we just got a red on. So that guy gets into an airplane, we might go get ourselves a kill today. All right, but anyway, that was my Tomcat tip for today. I just wanted to show you how to get your navigation system set up on a server where your waypoints aren't programmed in. And now, when you're flying around, when you're looking at your TID, you can see where you are quickly and easily, right? Hey, we don't need to fly in a Hornet or a Viper or any of those little planes. We have our SA page, right? We have our data link.
Roger.
We know where we are. We know what's going on. We got all the information we need in our Tomcat, in the big fighter. All right, so I'll talk to you on another Tomcat tip. That's all for now. Got eyes on him. Again.
Target, 12 miles.
Fox 3 again. Got the altitude advantage. He's low, I'm high.
We just lost clock.
Not for long, baby.
Bandit, 12 o'clock low. 3 miles.
Close.
Keep coming, keep coming. He's on our nose.
Fox 2.
12 o'clock. Mud spike, 1 o'clock. Splash, splash. Bandit is down.